Have you ever thought about a place so beautiful, so perfect, that the very act of people going to see it is the biggest threat it faces? It's a tough paradox, right? Well, that's exactly what's happening in northern Thailand's incredible reservoirs. Today, we're going to dig into a really smart solution that was developed to tackle this exact problem. You know, this quote from the local stakeholders, it's more than just a nice sentiment. It's really a plea. It gets right to the heart of the challenge for so many tourist spots today. How in the world do you share a piece of paradise without completely ruining it?
And this slide really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you have the dream, what we all hope for. Beautiful, calm landscapes, maybe a little ecotourism, a real connection to the local culture. But on the other side, well, there's the reality that's starting to creep in. Garbage, way too many people, facilities falling apart, and just a general free-for-all. So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at this idea of a paradise under pressure. Then we're going to unpack the problem, see what's really going on. After that, we'll dive into the data to find out what actually matters. Then I'll introduce you to a new solution called the MCSP Model. And finally, we'll see how this whole thing could be a blueprint for better tourism, well, everywhere.
This is really the heart of it. A place becomes popular for all the right reasons. It's gorgeous, it's unique, but that very popularity can end up smothering the life out of it. It's a classic case of being loved to death. So when you're facing a problem this huge, where do you even start? You can't just guess. You gotta do the research. So that's what a team of experts did. They set out to find a real, data-driven blueprint for making tourism sustainable. Okay, so their investigation really focused in on 4 key areas, 4 things that they thought might be the secret ingredients to getting this right. Let's break them down one by one. First up is what they call the image of attraction management. Now, this isn't about fancy logos or ad campaigns. It's about something way more basic: trust. Do you, as a tourist or a local, actually believe that the people in charge have got this under control, that they're competent? Second, you've got tourism innovation. This is all about thinking outside the box. It could be anything from developing cool, unique local products that actually help the community, to using green tech to handle waste, or just designing visitor experiences that are amazing but don't leave a huge mess behind. Third on the list is information technology, or IT. I mean, let's be real. In today's world, this is the backbone of everything. We're talking about easy-to-use booking apps that prevent overcrowding, websites with clear info, and using social media to communicate effectively. It's totally essential. And last, but definitely not least, is the one that could be a total game changer: community participation. And listen, this is way more than just letting people speak at a meeting. It means giving the local community real power, a real sense of ownership, and a legitimate say in what happens to their home. All right, so we've got our 4 big factors. The researchers went out and put them to the test. They surveyed hundreds of tourists and did in-depth interviews with key locals. And honestly, what they discovered was pretty eye-opening. Okay, just look at this chart for a second. The story it tells is crystal clear. Yeah, all these factors are important for sure, but one of them just towers over the others: that image of management. It turns out that when people trust the folks in charge, pretty much everything else starts to fall into place. And it works like a positive feedback loop. This little map from the study shows it perfectly. When you have a strong management image, it acts like a spark. It directly encourages new ideas, it makes it easier to adopt new tech, and it builds that all-important trust with the community. It's literally the engine that makes the whole system go. So if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this: trust. Trust is the absolute engine of sustainable tourism. Everything else, really, is built on top of that foundation. So, with this huge insight in hand, the researchers didn't just stop and write a paper. Nope, they built an actual solution. They call it the MCSP Model, and it's a 4-part formula designed specifically to build that trust and get real, lasting results. So that begs the question, right? How do you actually build a system that generates that trust, that creates that balance? Well, it doesn't just happen by accident. You need a roadmap, and that's exactly what the MCSP model is. The whole model is built on 4 pillars that all work together. First, you've got M for management structure. You can't have trust if nobody knows who's in charge. Next is C for collaborative management, because you can't have trust if people feel ignored. Then there's S for sustainable tourism goals, because you can't have trust without a shared destination. And finally, P for policy and regulation, because you can't have trust without clear rules for everyone. And here it is, the whole shebang. This isn't just some abstract idea. It's a practical blueprint for a better way forward, a future where tourism actually helps everyone involved, the environment, the local community, and yeah, the economy too.
But what's really powerful about this is that it's not just about some reservoirs in Thailand. The core ideas here offer a whole new way of thinking about the future of travel and tourism, no matter where you are in the world. Because at the end of the day, this is about something bigger. It's a movement toward truly empowering local communities, setting goals we can all get behind, and building that rock-solid trust that our planet's most beautiful spots so desperately need. It's really a recipe for a smarter, more conscious way to see the world. So I'll just leave you with this thought. Imagine if every tourist destination had a blueprint like this. What if every place we love to visit was actively being loved back to life instead of being loved to death? The answer, as we've seen today, all comes down to that one simple but incredibly powerful idea: trust.